Hey, what's up? It's LeBauer. And if you don't know me, well, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how to play the entrepreneurship game because you've been playing it wrong this whole time. It's something I just realized, but not right now, but I've realized it recently that you need to know this. You've been playing the game wrong. Look, if you don't know me, my name's Dr. LeBauer. I'm a physical therapist. I'm a business coach. I'm a father. I'm a Sagittarius. I like vintage scooters, shaving with straight razors. I own multiple businesses. Got a 2 Comma Club award from ClickFunnels, which is $1 million through one funnel online. And I've coached thousands of people to launch successful businesses and launch and scale successful businesses. And I know this. You're playing the game wrong. You're playing the entrepreneurship game wrong. But it's not your fault. It's certainly not your fault. It's only your fault if you listen to this and you know that there's a different game. It's only your fault if you refuse to play and you want to win. You can't win with different rules. It's kind of like this. You were taught to play baseball. Maybe you were taught to play soccer, but really there's a game called cricket. There's 2 different games. It's not even like as similar as baseball and cricket. Both of them are about making money and helping people. But you were taught to be a good employee. You were taught to kind of comply with the way the world works. Be a good employee, to clock in, clock out, and take a paycheck home. That's called certainty. But there's not a lot of certainty in employment either. What I'm talking about is universal. There's 2 games. There's a game of being an employee, and there's a game of owning a business and be an entrepreneur. When you go to school, you were taught to get A's, get good grades, memorize things. You show up at 8, you leave at 3:30. You go to work, you show up at 8, you leave at 5. You clock in, clock out. You live for the weekend, right? But if you want to own a business or you want to be an entrepreneur, there's a different set of rules. And there's the middle ground where you're trying to do both, but you only really own a job. You don't own a business. If you own a job, it means that work all the time, and you only make money the harder you work, the longer you work. The difference is when you become an entrepreneur, you learn to work smarter, not harder. And the big thing you have to disassociate yourself from is trading time for money. So it's not just you put in a thing and you make money for the amount of time you spent. You start trading time for results. When you trade time for results, you solve big problems. You get big money. It's kind of like the story about the mechanic. So these guys on I think it's the submarine, and the engine broke, and they're sitting at the bottom of the ocean, and all these guys with all the training, they're trying to fix the engine, and it won't run. So they call in the specialist, and the specialist comes in. This old man, 85 years old. And he rolls up to it. He goes, "This will be $10,000. And they go, "Oh, that's a lot of money." And he goes, "Great." And he pulls out the hammer and he bonks it once and it starts up. And he said, we've been working on this forever. Why would we pay you $10,000? He says, "You're not paying me $10,000 to start this. You're paying me the money for the experience and knowing exactly where to hit it with the hammer." I think I butchered that analogy, but basically you're paying for the result, not the amount of time I spend working on this. Because they were like, "Oh, we spent 20 hours, 20 days working on this. We can't figure it out. And you just come and hit it with one hammer and going to charge us a lot?" Because it took him a little time. It's not about the time that he spent. It's the result. It's not about the amount of time you spend with your patients, with your clients. It's the results that you provide for them. Here's how you play the game. Let me back up a little bit and say, how you play the game is you need to set bigger goals. Your goal should not just to be to replace your income. And that might be a stepping stone, but your goal needs to be bigger. You need to have bigger goals. If your goal feels doable, if your goal feels like, "Oh, I can do that. Like I know how to get there," your goals aren't big enough. If you're like, "Hey, I just want to make $5,000 a month." Like, why would you go into business for yourself if that's it? That might be enough for you to live on. It's totally fine. But I know that the world is expensive and things get more expensive the more kids you have. Like, you need more than that. And let's say you had more than enough. You could give it away to people. You could give more away. What if you, with your God-given talent and your intelligence and how smart you are and your experience, you could make so much money that you could donate millions or billions of dollars to help people that can't do that or are unfortunate, or whatever you want to say is like they are less fortunate than you. Like, there's no reason that we shouldn't set big, massive goals. Really, goals aren't designed for you to meet them. Their goals are designed for you to push them further and further away. Like, we'll set a year-long goal, but by a year, that shouldn't be the goal anymore. The goal should be new. We should have a bigger, newer goal. That's how you play the game. Number 1, set bigger goals. Number 2, Solve a big problem. People will pay you to have their problems solved. Knee pain isn't a problem. It's what it keeps me from doing. That's kind of a problem. But the big problem is why that's important to me. Solve a big problem. The bigger the problem you solve for people, or the more people you solve it for, the bigger the problem we solve. If we solve the opioid problem, we make a lot of money. We should be able to solve this like pain problem without producing opioids. Wouldn't you agree? We're on our way, but physical therapy is not in the landscape of that conversation. Solve a big problem for people, and they'll pay to have their problem solved, even if it's just you saving them time. Okay, for instance, I used to be a bike messenger. I made $1,300 every 2 weeks, $2,600 a month. My fourth or fifth month, one of my tags, which is one of the jobs that I had, is called a tag, was to go pick up someone's rear tire from their office on the 31st floor, take it half a mile away to the bike shop, leave it there for the bike shop to repair it, and then take it back to him. Because the guy had a flat tire. He commuted to work and he had a flat tire. I'm like, I could change this thing in 5 minutes. Like, why does this guy want me to do this? Well, he was paying us like $75. He paid us like, I think $35 plus the waiting time, which was like an hour. So he ended up paying us like $75 or $100. I got 50% of that to take this guy's tire to get changed. And while it was being changed, I went and made some more money elsewhere. I was like, why would he do that? Well, you know why he's doing that? Is because we were solving his problem of missing 2 hours worth of work and not being able to commute home. Obviously, now in hindsight, I know he was probably generating thousands of dollars an hour, and it was well worth him to pay us $100 an hour so he didn't have to waste 2 hours. Value your time more than you value money. I think I've said this a lot lately. Value your time more than money. Especially if you can solve big problems for people, your time is much more valuable than the money. It's not the time that people spend with you, it's your time solving problems. You should be solving big problems, not little problems. You shouldn't be putting out little fires here and there. You should be solving big, massive problems. What's the problem you can solve for $1,500 in an hour versus answering the phone to solve a problem that someone else could do for $15 an hour? Your time is depleting. Money comes and goes. Money is not running out. The US government's printing more money. The older I get, I make more money. I'm not making more money because of my age. I'm making more money because I'm learning how to grow a business. I'm getting smarter at working. Smarter, not harder. I'm getting better at solving big, massive problems. So stop trading your time for money. Yes, treating patients one-on-one is important. But if you really want to do something for a profession, you'll build a business that employs 3 other physical therapists. And then you won't have to trade your time for money. They're trading their time for money, but you're solving a bigger problem by giving them a great job with great benefits, a great team environment. You're helping at least three times as many patients in your town. And you have the freedom to move around and travel and not take a pay cut when you go to a conference. Plan your work around your lifestyle. So sit down and plan out your trips for the year and your coaching vacations trips for the year, vacations, right? I plan my work around my lifestyle. So I know what I need to make to afford my lifestyle. I know when I need to work so that I can do the things I want. Pre-pandemic, in 2019, I spent 81 days out of town with a member of my family. Okay, I did do some work during that time. It wasn't completely off, but I can work remotely. I can manage my clinic remotely. Don't plan your lifestyle around your job, because then you're going to hate it. You're working 9 to 5 and you're waiting for the clock to tick so you can go out on Friday nights, right? That creates a lot of dissatisfaction. That's why people want work-life balance, because they hate their work. They'd rather do something else. But when you love your work and you're an entrepreneur, like, there's no work-life balance because I love my job. I have to find the right mix for myself and my family. Surround yourself with people smarter than you and more successful than you. This is how you play the game. You cut out the crabs and the people that are pulling you down and not letting you climb out of the bucket. You cut people out of your life who are going to hold you back. This includes family members, friends, colleagues, people that email you randomly. Get around people that are going to support you, that are going to encourage you, that are more successful than you, that are doing what you want to do. They're going to level you up. They're going to show you what the next level looks like, what it looks like through the ceiling. They're going to show you what that looks like and how you can get there. Success leaves clues. Like, there's crumbs around. Like, how do people act? How do they talk about money? How do they talk about business? How do they spend their time, with their family? Like, it's like, oh, now I learned from those experiences, how to operate my business and act and think. How do you play the game? You start all negotiations finding out what the other person or party wants. What does the other person or party want first? Negotiations, whether it's buying a car, hiring someone. Let's figure out what the other person wants first. And then we can see if they're even close to our ballpark, and then we can negotiate from there. If you show your hand first, unless you're super confident, you've done this millions of times, but if you show your hand first, you might be shooting high or too low. Let's find out what the other person wants first. And then we can start to create and find the win-win for both parties. Number 8, I think this is the last big thing, is recognize when you need help. I know for many of you listening, you are smart. You've accomplished a ton, but that doesn't mean doing it on your own is the best way. It's going back to valuing time. Like, I value my time more than money. So I'm willing to pay to save myself time, whether that's hiring an employee, a virtual assistant, paying for a coach to tell me what to do next. So I don't have to waste my time thinking about it and delay results. Recognize that when you need help, the best thing to do is to ask someone for help in a business. Like, you can ask your friend down the street who has the same kind of business. You can ask your family that doesn't have a business and is afraid of you losing money and getting hurt. But I think the best thing to do is to hire someone to solve that problem for you, and that would be a business coach, or hire a mentor, however you want to call it. You can ask them the question, and they'll tell you from experience and from knowing your business what you should do next. Just kind of like your clinical instructor. Hey, I've got this person with back pain and it's presenting kind of strange. What do you think? This is what I'm thinking. What do you think? It's like, boom, now we solved that problem quicker. So let's do that with our business. But I know so many people that hesitate to do that with their business because they think it's expensive, because they don't value their time. They're playing the job game, the employee game, not the entrepreneur game. So then go hire someone to help you solve the problem. You'll solve it faster. You'll move through this process even quicker and get bigger results. And bigger results, there's more money, meaning, freedom, time with your family, impact in the world. Here's a couple things I would love for you to do. I think that are important as part of this is clarify your goals. Why do you want to do this? Why do you even want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to take the risk? Why is it worth it to you? Then go get the tools, systems, software, automations, strategies, downloads, handable things. Get the things that you need. Go get the tools you need. Then get the training on how to use the tools. It's kind of like you go get the lawnmower. Well, you have to have the training on how to use it. If no one ever taught you how to use a lawnmower, you don't know how to start it or how much gas to put in, get the training. Then find a business coach or mentor to work with, because there's speed. So there's training, and then there's actually having a person help you through the training. So there's information and there's implementation. And surround yourself with like-minded people who lift you up, push you to be a better version of yourself, keep you accountable, make this whole thing fun. And then the last thing I would say is, if all this sounds good to you, if you're like, dude, I want some of that, join us at PT BizCon. It's our 2-day business growth event, primarily for physical therapists, but you don't have to be a physical therapist to join. You just have to want to launch, grow, and scale a business, or scale. I mean, you can be in the launch phase, the growth phase, the scale phase, or even like the sell phase. You can be anywhere in there. You want to be in business to help a massive amount of people, and you want to do it the right way and learn all the latest marketing, sales, systems, scaling strategies. It's 2 days. It's coming up in March, and you're going to learn the 6, 7, and 8-figure mindset from some amazing guest speakers. It's not just you listening and attending some really long webinar. We're going to do things together. I'm going to help you generate leads. I'm going to teach you very specific sales scripts, so you know exactly what to say to people who want to work with you. I'm going to teach you the mindset you need to really play the game, so that you let the game help you along rather than fighting you to figure out the rules and the strategies. The game's going to move you forward so that you can 10x your business and get a game plan to grow it over the course of the next 12 to 24 months. So if you want to join us, 2 days, business growth mindset community, go to ptbizcon.com. PTBizCon. I know there's a link below this video. Go there now, grab your ticket, and look, the whole thing, this event is set up to give you results in advance. So you might be skeptical and like, what am I going to learn? Or who's going to be there? And is this even worth it? If you go and get your ticket, and you get into our private community. I've put a training in there. It's called the PIF Tsunami, the Paid in Full Tsunami. If you actually watch that training and take action on it, and you own a business with an offer that converts, it's going to help you generate hundreds, if not thousands of dollars even before the event. I've seen it work for our Platinum Mastermind members. I've seen it work for other coaching groups, gym owners. They make tens and $20,000 doing this if you have hundreds of clients. ptbizcon.com. If you're interested in growing your business, you got nothing to lose as long as you're willing to take action, ask for help, and share your wins and lessons. That's it for now. I'll see you next time. Be sure you hit the like button, click the notification bell, or subscribe, notification bell. Comment below. Let me know what was most helpful for you about this and what you're looking forward to growing into your business over the next 2 years? What are you looking forward to in your business in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you want? I would love to know, but I would love to know what was most helpful for you about this. I'd love to work with you. So get a ticket at PT BizCon. I'll see you there. See you live. See you at the show. Peace.